Youre Cruiser, your life applications officer. I'm willing to bet that most of the people who come to my channel, same people who come here and criticize how I do my videos, always say dumb stuff like, "What the heck are you talking about, D-Roy Cruz?" And same people who tell me that, if I say certain things, prepare to take that whooping and all this kind of stuff, and I'm rude and I'm ignorant and all these different things. I'm willing to bet that the things that are going on in our country right now, all the way down to the Texas shooting, I'm willing to bet that you are one of those who are looking at all this and you're saying, well, we'll see what happens. Well, we'll see what happens. You're not really concerned about all the kids that got killed. I don't see y'all making videos on your channels about these issues. You just waiting for D-Roy to talk about it so you could say that he talked dumb about it. He didn't know what he was talking about. But you're not talking about it at all. Okay? Um this is my whole problem with the idea of me being a Christian. And you know, the the idiocy against it. Um, you are constantly willing to dilute my space, make my space smaller and make yours bigger. Let's have all this stuff going on, even if it's ruining our children. That has yet to be proven. Basically, actually, what you're saying is it has yet to be stopped. You'll stop it when they stop you. That's the thing. That's what sin is. That's what we call sin. When you need to be stopped from doing certain things in order to stop them. Okay? This is where you are considered in my Bible to be evil. This is where you are considered in my Bible to be an abomination. This is where you are considered in my Bible to be called the term wicked. Okay? Satanic. Sons and daughters of Beelzebub or Belial. Because you don't stop until they make you stop. You don't stop until they make you stop. You're sitting back on, well, we'll see what happens, We'll see what happens. And you're not going to, let alone, stand up against what you see as injustice in this country against all of us, not just me, and what I believe in you, yourself, and what you believe. Injustice. Okay? Done to all of us, not just me. All of us. You too. You're not willing to say, hold up. Uh-uh. Not willing to do that. You just want to criticize the fact that I think I have the audacity to think that I can talk about this. To think that I can sit there and care about anything other than my Bible. My Bible compels me to care about all things. Sir, ma'am, my Bible compels me to care about all things, starting with myself and my own sin. Okay? But you people, a lot of you people that come to my channel, always criticizing, always hating. I don't expect you to care about anything but your own libido. If I'm wrong, please correct me, because I want to be corrected right now. I want to be corrected. With kids being shot up like we just recently happened in Texas. Okay? I think it was Texas. Correct me if I'm wrong. We don't have time to worry about DeRoy Cruz and him saying some ignoramus about the LGBTQ community or some ignoramus about atheists. We have to come together as a country and care about the things that are attacking our country. But then again, that's why, you hear Republicans talking so much. And they got all these good speeches. These Democrats don't have any good speeches. All they have is defense. That's all they got. All they have is protests. All they have is anger and emotion and getting in their feelings. They do not have any good speeches. I'm looking at everybody from Tatum to Candace Owens to Green to Williams to the Hodge twins to Anthony Bryan Logan to Donald Trump. All the way from small people like me to Donald Trump. Republicans have good speeches. These Democrat liberals, all they have is oh, 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 oh. That's all you got is emotion, anger, hatred, resentment. That's all you got. All you got is protest. You're out on the street while the real people are inside. You're out on the street where violence is about to happen. Yeah, I've already been mugged. Okay, and I'm sure they wasn't Republicans. Okay, I know they wasn't Republicans. If they vote at all, it'll be Democrat. Okay, but I just got mugged. Okay, you touch me out on the street, I'm bound to go off. But see, the real heroes are indoors. They're not out on the street. And this goes not just for Democrats, but even some of these Christians. They're out there putting themselves in harm's way by doing something stupid. And they think they can blame God for it. You can't blame God for standing in front of an abortion clinic. Okay? And protesting when you're being just like the liberal haters that you are defending yourself against. That's their job. Stand in front of somebody's clinic and act a fool. It ain't our job to do that crap. Okay? But, again, the good people are indoors making mature decisions if the liberals stay out of our way and let us make them. So what we have here is, in closing, I'm sick and tired of the lack of right to have my own space, like you got your space. Okay, you won. Okay, let's admit, gay marriage got us all screwed up. Not just people that are anti-trans, but people that are transgender. Not just people that are anti-gay marriage, but people that are practice gay marriage. Okay, they got us all screwed up. All these legislations for our libidos got us all screwed up. Admit it. You didn't know that it was going to get this wild and this crazy. Sure, you wanted freedom, but you didn't know it was going to go off the deep end like it has been. You didn't know your people was going to be out there saying the stuff that they're saying. You didn't know that these these, I don't have a good name for them, was going to indoctrinate our children. The very thing that you hate Christians for. You say, "Oh, you're indoctrinating us. I was indoctrinated, and you're indoctrinating our children, and the church is guilty for indoctrinating children." Nobody ever told a child what to say when he is asked about how he feels personally. Nobody has ever in the church asked for special respect because he's a pastor or a bishop. Nobody's ever done that in the church unless they was of some false religion or something like that. But Christians don't want kids to respect us just simply because we're Christians. And Christians don't tell their own children, this is what you must say, regardless of how you feel. If my teenager, when she's a teenager, or when he's a teenager, while he's a teenager, rejects God, that is his right to do so. I might argue with him, but I'm not going to tell him what to say and tell him what to do regardless of how he feels inside. My daughter has been gay since she was 14 years old. My two biological daughters, were contemplating atheism since they were 14 and 13 years old. While they like to hang out with the kids at the youth group, knowing that the kids in the youth group were on fire for Jesus. My stepdaughter has been wild and out there doing her thing, and she was already drinking and going to bars and clubs when she was only 15. My stepson used to have an alcoholic problem. God delivered him because he started calling on the name of Jesus. I'd have to say it had to be the Lord, and with the help of a good wife, his wife being by his side, his girlfriends didn't do nothing but make him get mad at them and drink. But his wife, he married his high school sweetheart who always, loved him even though they went their separate ways. She always loved him. Okay, and they're back together. They've been back together for the last 9-10 years. But and they're married, in holy matrimony. Thank you, Lord. But they've never ever allow for the sake of themselves and each other and their children, they didn't allow themselves to stay wild and crazy. And I remember me having this argument of my stepson arguing with my stepson about where to find a mate, and he was telling me how to go in bars and how the women are in there. And I'm thinking, okay, you got to understand something, son. Whatever they are in the bar, they're outside the bar too. The bar is not making them be wild. They go to the bars because they are wild. They go to the bars and be easy because they are easy. It's not the bars that's making them that way. They're that way. That's why they go to bars. The only thing going to a bar is going to do for me is help me to know which women to stay away from. Okay, that's another video. But I remember us having that argument. Okay? Of course, I believe that everybody needs the Lord, starting with me and my family to the rest of you knuckleheads. We all need the Lord, whether we can understand fully or not. We all need the Lord. It's not about religion. It's not about denomination. It's not about, you know, like Jordan Peterson said, it's not about whether God exists or not. It's that it's the best plan you're going to get. It's the best. There's nothing better. You're not going to get any better. You can hate it all you want to. Don't hate the game or don't hate the player. Hate the world. Don't hate the players in the script. Hate the world. That's what the Bible says. Don't hate the players. Don't hate the characters. Hate the world. The Bible tells us, do not love the world, for anybody who loves the world is an enemy of God. Okay? All you people out there shooting people, you love the world. That's why you want to get certain people out of the world. You want to take their lives and get rid of them in the most heinous way ever because you love the world. And the world is more in you than it is in the people that you're killing. Okay, same thing with these atheists that come to my channel. It's all the world. Because I'm not trying to lift the world up. I'm constantly speaking at the world about its sins instead of its goodness. So people hate me because I represent Christ. You can call it all kinds of new labels and all like that if you want to, but you hate me because I represent Christ. When I go crazy and go totally in my flesh on these channels, and give me a high, you're all clapping. Yeah, D-Roy, that's more like you ought to do this, you ought to do that, instead of talking that Jesus crap. You said it loud and clear. How many times do you need to say it before I get it in my thick skull? You don't like me because I represent Christ. You try to twist it. Okay? And we got these imaginary Christians on your team that are agreeing with you that I should stop talking about Christ and do something different because I really suck at it. But I don't see these Christians getting together with me because we're supposed to be brothers and sisters. I don't see them getting together with me to help me from my ignorance. Neither do I see them getting together with me to help me talk about these things that are going on in America that are high above the arguments that we're having. Whatever those arguments are. What's really happening in real time is above and beyond that. Comes first. The other stuff we're talking about comes last. But y'all like to invade other people's space. This is what's wrong with the world. And I say this for everybody from homeless people to Christians. Everybody needs their own space. I'm closing. Everybody needs their own space. Everybody needs not to invade other people's space. Just like my life shouldn't be filled with gay people if I'm not gay. My life should be filled with transgender people if I'm not a transgender person. My life should not be filled up with you know, Black Lives Matter if I don't support it. Okay? I had somebody not too long ago tried to kick me out of an office because I didn't grow up on Motown. I didn't grow up on Gladys Knight and the Pips or the Temptations. You know, I was listening to some other kind of music. My mom had me listening to more Christian and Southern gospel and country styles of music back in those days. This person tried to kick me out of an office. All because I didn't know, in his opinion, enough about my black heritage. I guess my black heritage is all about Motown. I guess Motown is my black heritage. And then you wonder why I'm so hard on black people. Okay? And I knew a lot about Motown. I just didn't know every single song by every single artist. Because, like I said, my mother and my grandmother, I've said this in several videos, raised me different. My grandmother raised me from a secular standpoint when I was with her and when my mother died. My mother raised me at a Christian standpoint where I learned to adjust and learn to love a Christian culture. And when my mom died, my uncle tried to finish where she left off. Okay? But it was hard for him because he's living in a house where ain't nobody saved but him. And I'm living in a house but where ain't nobody saved but me and him. Okay? So it was very difficult. But we did it. Praise be to God. We did it. But, you know, we got spaces and you know what, again, like in closing, yes, you're going to believe whatever you want to believe. And you're going to do whatever you want to do. Okay? If I can't control what my own kids are doing, how am I supposed to control what you're doing? I'm not even trying, sweetheart, sir, ma'am, whatever you are. I'm not even trying to control or indoctrinate. You're a fat liar. You've never been indoctrinated by a Christian about anything because you don't know what the word indoctrination means. What these tricks are doing in our schools to our kids, that is the proper term for the word indoctrination. When you tell our kids what to say about whatever it is your agenda you're pushing, regardless of how those kids feel. Those kids might not feel gay, but yet they have to be so concerned about gay. Those kids might be comfortable with who they are as a man or a male or a female, but they have to be concerned about your gender, not theirs, yours, to make you feel comfortable. Why am I not surprised that trans people and gay people have to push their agenda? They can't just be gay and be happy. They can't just be trans and be happy. They have to find somebody to create their culture, to create their utopia against their own will. Against their own will. You're making these kids build for you, be a pillar for you against their own will. You are invading my space. Okay? I believe you should have your space. I should have my space. I should have a right to believe what I believe as long as I'm not hurting anybody. And if you claim you're not hurting anybody, fine. Believe what you want to believe, but don't push your agenda. Because if your agenda is clear, if your agenda is good for anybody, you don't have to push it. They will come and get it. Just like people walk into churches every day, even though the number of Christians is falling, people still walk into churches every single day. You don't have to push an agenda. You can just receive it or let the people come to you. You don't have to push anything. I don't have to push anything. People walk into churches every day. when I go out and something happens, that I have to mention my badge as a Christian. Some people want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, but they do. I don't care about talking about it because I don't want to argue with anybody. But they want to talk about it, and then a lot of times it's not to argue. They just want to know. Like the girl who was a lesbian, who was friends with my daughter, who wanted to pull me to the side and ask me if she was going to hell. And I says, well, I believe in hell because I read it and understand it. You can do the same. I believe in sin. I believe in abomination. I believe in righteousness and sin because I read it and I understand what I'm reading. You can do the same. I'm not going to judge you and tell you something without telling you where I get my resources from. That's what I told her. Okay? Read it for yourself. Come to know the Lord for yourself, and you won't even have to worry about whether you're going to heaven or hell because you know the Lord. People that know the Lord don't worry about hell because in the end, I win. Regardless, I win. It doesn't matter whether we win with the Christians running the world or whether we win with you running the world, whoever you are, or however you think it's going to be ran. We still win. Yeah, you ran the world, but we won. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like going to a home game and kicking their behind. Okay, you know what I'm saying? We won. You're home. It's your home, yeah, but we won. You live here. We got to get on the plane. But we won. We win. We're the better team. We won. No way out of this. We're the better team. We won. Okay? But you're invading my space. You are pushing an agenda as you accuse me of pushing an agenda. You are indoctrinating while you accuse me of indoctrinating. And if you're not doing any of these things, then you're sitting there saying, well, we'll see what's going to happen. Gun control. You want to make laws about guns that make sense? I'm down with that. But one thing I've learned about guns, and Brandon Tatum said it perfectly today. He says, crime is dealt immediately by law-abiding citizens, not by the police. It's not the police that are punishing people for crime. It's the citizens. It's the innocent citizens that happen to be armed and know how to use it. There's a story that went out that's private, but it's viral, but it's private. But yet it's viral, but it's private, okay? It's both, okay? It went out, and it's a true story. Woman took out a gunman, okay, that was shooting at people from his car. She walked up on his car and took him out with her 9 while he was shooting an automatic weapon. I think that's how it went, okay? I don't know what state that was, but a lot of times what they rather do is take the person that shot the gun to court. I got a friend that went to court for pulling out his gun to protect himself. Nobody got shot. He didn't fire. Well, he didn't fire at nobody. He fired up in the air to get the people to walk away and leave him alone because they were all gathered around him like they wanted to jump him. He ended up having to give up his gun and go to court for like half a year, like 6 months, He was in and out of court over that incident when nobody got shot. He pulled his gun out because somebody threatened to attack him. Nobody got shot though. Okay, and they were outside. So, it's one thing if you fire your gun inside of a hospital or a hotel or even the mall, but it's another thing when you're outside and you fire your gun. This is the crap that they do to try to make us sit back and let somebody hurt us or rape us or kill us. Because we're so afraid of what the indoctrinators will force us to do. We're so afraid of our own government. We're so afraid of our own parties. We're so afraid of whatever is opposite of us that we're willing to let somebody break in our house and do whatever they want to do to us because we're afraid that we won't be on the right side of that gun. We're afraid we won't be on the right side of the law when we're in our own home. But we're afraid we won't be on the right side of the law. Okay? We're afraid that we'll be the suspect while the suspect is busy getting away. And that's the thing that's going on. This is what I mean by spaces. This is what I mean when I say guns and spaces. How dare you take from me? How dare you try to cancel me? Try to shut me down, try to lock me in, try to keep me from moving. How dare you broaden your space while you limit mine, while you make my space smaller? How dare you give yourself rights that I can't have? How dare you play the double standard? How dare you come to my channel and talk trash, okay? And then turn around and talk like you're the victim. Okay? You can't be both. You can't be both. Nobody has to accept homosexuality other than their right to be homosexual. Nobody has to sacrifice their children for homosexuality or transgenderism. Okay? No, if you go outside of your home every day and you feel hatred and you feel remorse and you feel unaccepted, okay? This is the bed you chose to lie in. You can't force people to like you. You can't force people to accept what you're doing, condone what you're doing. You can't force people to be anything but what they've been being all the way up to this point. And how dare you? You can't get to me, so you want to come after my children? You can't change how I feel, how I think. So you try to indoctrinate, and this is a proper use of that term. Try to indoctrinate my children by telling my children what to think, what to feel, how to respond, what to say. Like I said, if they're really gay, they'll be gay without your help. If they really, 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 really are trans, they're trans regardless of whether you help them or not. I don't have to go out here and push nobody to be a Christian. I don't have to go out here and indoctrinate somebody to accept what I say about anything I say on my channel. If you agree with me, you'll hit the like button. If you don't agree with me, you'll hit the dislike button. If you're an idiot, you'll leave a comment in the comment section because you're an idiot. Not meant for you to comment on, because I'm gonna say you know I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You cannot change what I said. God bless you. I am Youre Cruz. I am your life applications officer. Didn't mean to hold you so long, but had to get it out. Talk to you soon with more.